everyone. What's going on? This is it. This is the end of the road.
End of the line.
For now, but not forever.
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
Things
yeah.
will continue. All right. Anyway.
Are you gonna let us back into this thing?
I don't think so. But anyway, here we are. This is it. The end of day 3 for us. You know, our third day at E3. So this is our E3 2012 Thursday recap. We're going to recap everything that we did, our thoughts about some of the games that we played that we did not get to record, so that way you get an impression of what we thought. And then we kind of want to just end out our E3 trip with our feelings on like what was the best stuff that we saw, what was some of the worst stuff we saw, maybe something that surprised or disappointed us, and overall what we thought of E3, being that this is the first time that we attended. Alright, so as we talked about yesterday, today was going to be our day. It's really the last straw, the final countdown. We have to get in there and try to see the stuff that we just have not had a chance to get to yet.
Right.
Because some of the lines have been absolutely astronomically long during this whole week. And we knew that, hopefully, fingers crossed, some of these lines would be shorter. Maybe if we actually put the effort in, we could get there earlier and get into some of the stuff we wanted to do. So we ended up actually getting up super duper early. I think it was like 7:30 we got up today.
Yeah, I got woken up because Howard called me.
Is that what it was?
Like, early.
He called you.
As you were talking, and then I woke you up because I was yelling out. You were talking and stuff.
Oh my God, that's what happened. I didn't even
That's
know
what
that.
happened, yeah. That's what happened.
So around 7:30 we wake up. So we're getting ready. By 8 o'clock we said, all right, let's get out of here. Let's get on the road because we wanted to be there before 10 because the conference today was 10 to 6. And so we wanted to be there before 10 so when those doors open we could rush over to like Capcom and try to get into Resident Evil.
And you actually wrote it out, a whole plan.
I did.
Of where we should go.
I did, absolutely. Because I was determined to get certain things done today. I didn't want to go home as a failure and say I didn't get to do certain stuff. So we get there, and I say after, it was still like an hour of traffic. It was absolutely ridiculous. You know, we got breakfast here, it was like 8:30. We get there, it's like 9:30. Maybe a little early, maybe 9:15. Mm-hmm. And we walk up, and there's people walking in. We're like, good, the doors are open. Thank God they're not making us stand outside in the heat. And so we go inside, and there's already a huge line, you know, lining up to get into the convention center. And all of a sudden we walk up, we have to use the bathrooms. So we walk up to use the bathrooms, and as we're coming back to the big line, we notice people are going in.
Yeah.
Like, well, wait a minute, who's
certain people?
Certain people.
Being allowed up the escalator.
By the ushers.
Right.
They're like, oh, they're looking at the badge. You? Yeah. You? Oh, no. You? Yeah. So what's going on? We don't get it. And then we started looking at the people who were getting through. It seemed like everyone had a red badge.
Right.
And we're like, we have red badges. Like,
and we started looking. We're like, all right, we should probably get on this line. We started looking at the people in the line, yellow, green.
Right.
We're like, wait a second.
Different color badges than us.
Yeah.
So John says, you want me to go up and see?
I'm like, I'm going to go find out.
Go ahead. So John walks up. The guy goes, oh. And I was like, whoa. So we're like, woo. Yeah. So we ended up getting into the convention center a full half an hour before the actual
And we could have been doing this every day. We
could have been doing this every day. Well, eventually what we found out is that each color on each badge represents something, and the red badge represents you're an exhibitor. Now, because we were with Machinima, and Machinima had a booth at E3, technically we were with the exhibitor group, and we could have been getting in early every day.
And no one told you exactly what your badge could do?
No one told me.
It wasn't really explained that clearly.
It wasn't explained at all. So
there might have been other things that we could have done.
Maybe and maybe not, I don't know. Like, I know that the exhibitor badge wouldn't have gotten us into the VIP areas. We know that because we tried it. We were told no. So we were not exactly sure what we could and couldn't have done, but it is what it is at this point. We knew we could have gotten in early. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we get in early and we start walking around, and the first thing I did, I took a video of the convention floor nearly empty, to which people were commenting, it actually kind of looks like an empty amusement park or an empty video arcade. You know, that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
So then we said, well, what haven't we got a chance to do yet? And we said, wait a minute, we haven't played the Wii U at all. We haven't even touched the controller yet. So John ran over, he saw one over at the...
was it Tecmo?
Tecmo Bandai.
That's something we should bring...
Not Tecmo, but Tecmo Koei.
Yeah.
Tecmo Koei.
That's something we should talk about, though, as we progress here, where you could find some of these things in other places, where in one place it's very difficult to play it.
Yes.
It also randomly be somewhere else.
Right.
And it's very easy to play it.
Way easy.
So there it was, the Wii U and the new controller with the screen. I don't even know what it's called. And
the gamepad.
And Ninja Gaiden 3.
Right.
So I started messing around with it.
We got a video of that, if you want to check that out. And, you know, he had some interesting comments to make, some controversial statements.
I just kind of like
throughout the video game atmosphere.
I didn't play enough of it to say it's great or not. I was just giving my first-hand impressions on it.
Mm-hmm.
It seems kind of like it's kind of awkward.
Right.
It's something new, so of course it's
Right.
going to be kind of awkward. I felt like the buttons were kind of small.
Right.
Maybe that's for like a kid, but then again the controller's big, so I don't really know where the idea was. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's good. Just it was a little strange. For that game, I don't understand. It seems like on the screen, you could go to like your inventory very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, like it's easier for me just to hit start
Mm-hmm.
instead of looking down, not making sure nothing's killing me,
Right.
and then touching the thing that I want.
Right.
So,
Right. It's almost like they're stretching for a use for the screen.
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, I don't know if there's more functionality in the game with that, but
Right.
as far as I could tell, it was just like there for the sake of having it. So.
What I can say is this: after John tried it, I tried it off camera, and even me playing it. And I keep in mind, I played Ninja Gaiden 3. I played it for like a good 2 minutes, and my hand already was sore. Now keep in mind, Ninja Gaiden is a button masher in many ways. We have to repeatedly press buttons to do combos. My hand actually hurt, and I was like, wow, that's kind of weird. Like, it didn't hurt when I played it on Xbox, but it hurts now just playing it for 2 minutes on the Wii U. And that could be because of the size of the controller, but I'm going to come back to that because later on I did play another game on Wii U that I want to talk about, where I had a completely different experience.
I just feel like they basically created the most complicated controller ever.
Right.
It
is. It's super control.
For a company over the last several years found success with a very casual audience. Let's make the most complicated controller ever. It's kind of a strange thing, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a good point, though. It's a good point. So after we finished that, we said, what time is it? And we said, man, what is the one thing we want to do the most today? And we said, we want to play Resident Evil 6. That's it, hands down. We're pumped for it. We both played it. We love Resident Evil 5. We're really looking forward to 6. So we head over to the Capcom. Already there's a line. We're like, you guys are kidding me. It's like fucking quarter of 10. There's 5-6 people in line. We're like, holy shit. So we get in line, and luckily, the line's not out of control or anything. And by 10 o'clock, they start handing out these tickets. And so we end up getting tickets for 10:30, the very first grouping for Resident Evil 6. So we're thrilled, we're ecstatic. But it was 10 o'clock at the time. So we had a half an hour to kill. What are we going to do? So what's the second most thing we probably want to see? I said, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. It's been a huge line all weekend. It's a unique game. It's a new IP.
We were talking about that yesterday. People waiting 3 hours.
3+ hours, right, to play this game. Let's see how the line is. We headed over there. Almost no line. There was like maybe 13 people ahead of us. We ran in there, took some video of the interior of it or whatever. And then we get in there, finally. We didn't get in there in the first batch. We get in there in the second batch.
Yeah.
We get in there, and they've got TVs on the walls. And as soon as we get in there, the rep goes, not there, there, look on that wall.
Because everyone walked in, and then you see the door where the games are.
Right.
You're like, okay, let's go play. And he's like, no, wait.
No.
Turn around.
Look at that wall.
And it's like, okay, let's see what this is.
And they proceed to play a B-rate, I wouldn't even say B-rate, a C-rate, really badly performed and acted, stupid cutscene by real-life actors.
Yeah, you know what this was? You know when you go to like Universal Studios?
Yes.
And there's like a spaceship ride or something?
Yes.
And you have like the fake, Admiral come out and goes, alright everybody, it's going to be a bumpy ride, all that shit.
Keep your seatbelts fastened and blah, 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 blah.
That's what it was like.
That's exactly what it was.
And it was like 10 minutes.
You felt you were at Universal Studios, an amusement park ride for bullshit.
Yeah, nothing to do with the game, didn't explain anything about the game.
Yeah, the first like 4 or 5 minutes is showing Raiden being operated on through a cyborg.
That wasn't even him though, because
that was Raiden.
It didn't look like him.
No, they only showed him once with the hair.
Yeah, when they showed a dude, they were calling him Jack and shit.
That's Raiden.
But it didn't look like how he's supposed to look.
No, they never showed him. They only showed him once with a lock of gold hair in his eye. You were looking at the dude who they killed.
Oh yeah, okay.
There was a guy who they killed in front of Raiden to try to show Raiden that this is what you have to do.
Oh, that's what they
You have to be a brutal person. Yeah,
it was stupid.
They're trying to condition his mind to murder.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Then there's another video clip that comes up. The worst fucking thing ever. It's a Christian Bale look-alike. The guy who kind of looked like a chubby Christian Bale.
That was the Universal Studios thing.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, oh, you're all new cyborg trainees. And so you're going to learn from Raiden. He's our best field operative. So get in there and remember blah, 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 blah. And everyone at this one's like, what the fuck, man? I fucking hate Kojima. Just let us play the goddamn game at this point.
Dude, luckily we didn't wait that long. Imagine you waited the 3 hours, and then you got that.
And you got that.
All right, Cyborg Juniors.
I would have kicked down the fucking wall.
All right, cadets, let's get in there and fuck.
So we finally get in there, and we start to play, and we realize, wait a minute. And I actually looked at my phone.
It was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
10 minutes had already passed.
Yeah.
So we're already late for Resident Evil. I'm like, oh, fucking shit, what are we going to do? So I play, I'm like playing. Finally, he says, all right, you're done. So what do I have to say about the game? And I guess we should collectively say what we have to say. Seems very fast-paced. Seems like what you're going to be running around a lot. You're going to be slashing, hacking, and slashing as your generic attacks. As you build up this meter, as you do those generic attacks, you can then do what's called a controlled slash.
Those are nuts.
Where you can aim specifically where you want to slash, but you do it repeatedly as this bar depletes. And you can actually do combos leading into the slash, which will do like an instant kill.
Like air launch
juggles, you can do it. I'm not sure how complicated the game is going to be past that, because that's only all really you could do in the demo. Besides, there was also one rocket launcher you could pick up and shoot at a helicopter later on. But outside of those two things, there really wasn't that much else to do. I actually got to a point where a Metal Gear actually came out.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I ran up and I fucking just did I had a full charge attack, and I killed him instantly. I just slashed the fuck out of the Metal Gear and it blew up instantly. So it didn't seem too hard, you know. It just seems like there's going to be a lot of running and hacking and slashing. But it's hard to tell with these games, because you're only playing the beginning of the game. Look at a game like Bayonetta, where as you went through the game, you got so many new weapons and things that you could have completely changed your gameplay if you wanted.
I would think it's going to be along those lines, you know.
It's the same company that made it.
It is insanely brutal, man. Like, did you do the thing?
Oh, yeah.
Slash it, and then like the pieces start coming apart.
Yes.
You just slash those.
Yes.
That cut a dude's head off.
Cut it to mincemeat.
And then just like start slashing the head for no reason. You know. I thought it was pretty cool. You know, and yeah, I mean, it kind of got repetitive in the demo. Because it does, like when you do that slash mode, it's very slow.
Yeah, it goes like to slow motion so you can get the precise slash if you're trying to hit a certain area of the body.
And you kind of like have to do it, because if you use the normal attacks, he's forever to kill anyone.
Yes.
So you kind of like have to do it. Yeah. And after a while, you're like, oh, Jared, I already saw this like slice this dude in half.
Just to give you an idea, and I'm doing the demo, I was testing it. You have to do 3 to 4 normal slashes. Then if you hit Y, you launch. You press Y again, you jump after them. Then you have to hit them 3 to 4 times again in the air.
This is without the slash mode.
Without the slash mode. Then you have to hit Y again to ground them. And then you have to hold Y again, and he does like a drop with the slash. It finally kills. So it's like 12 hits you need to get to kill a normal dude.
It's kind of a new idea, though. You hold left trigger.
It's interesting.
And then you use the right thumbstick to slash and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's kind of an interesting idea.
It's an interesting idea. Will it become repetitive in the game? Obviously, we'll reserve our judgment. Don't know. But it was fun. For the what we played, it was fun.
I'm definitely going to get it.
If they could have skipped the fucking video bullshit and just I would have been happy if they said just go in and play for 10 minutes. And I played for 10 minutes and walked out. I would have been happier than having to waste my time on the video bullshit, honestly.
Yeah.
And that's probably why there's a 3-hour wait for everyone, because you've artificially doubled the amount of time that people are in there with this bullshit. So anyway, so we get out of there and we're like, fuck, we're late. So we have to run. We run over to the Capcom booth. We're literally like 5 minutes. It's like 10:35. So we come on, we're ready. Oh, sorry, you're late. You can't get in. Like, wait a minute. And I'm like, now wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, we're exhibitors. So we could have been on a fucking stream. We could have been doing other stuff. Technically, I'm covering all this stuff for Machinima. You know, I'm doing this. Machinima, he's taking money off of my videos. They want me to cover E3. So I'm doing this as a part of an exhibitor's job to be here at this convention.
Yeah.
So I was getting pissed. I was like, this is ridiculous. Are you going to tell me I can't get in because I'm 5 minutes late? So I was kind of getting real mad. And then this guy came out who actually I had talked to yesterday. This was the guy who I asked about. Yeah, this is the guy I had asked. I told him I knew Seth Killian.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, well, it's we'll definitely get you in. He says, go to the standby line. We'll definitely get you in. He says, can you wait like 15, 20 minutes? I said, as long as you can get me in, I'm not going to whine and complain like a baby. We'll go wait in the standby area and see what you can do.
Right.
So we went to the standby area, and then I think he kind of remembered. He was like, wait a minute, that's the kid who knows Seth. And so he called us back over. He was like, all right, you guys are next. I'm like, all right, excellent. So we end up getting into the next thing for Resident Evil 6. And we go inside this area, and it's all like red lighting.
They did a great job.
You know, it's decorated. It looks like you're on a rooftop, metallic stuff
They're basically
all around
trying
you.
to sell the game to you. You know, sell you on the game so that you'll go and spread the word about it, like we are. And they went all out with it. They had the welcome to the streets of China or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
It was all set up. They had like street sounds playing. And,
Yep.
And really cool, man.
It was cool. So
awesome.
He basically says, all right, you can go in and play the game, and you get to play the game for 30 minutes, to which we were all like, what? Wow, that's awesome. That's like fucking worth the wait and all the trouble we've been going through to try to get into this thing.
Yep.
So he says 30 minutes. There's 3 different game modes, because there's 3 different main characters in this game and 3 different stories that you're going to play in Resident Evil 6. You got Leon, Chris, and a new character, Jake.
Jake?
And he basically said, I recommend you play Chris because Chris is a lot more action-packed.
Well, I think probably people are used to that one because that's basically Resident Evil 5 mode.
It plays like exactly. It plays like Resident Evil 5. So if you play as Leon, it's a little bit slower moving, a little bit more story. If you play as Jake, I warn you right now, if you don't hold down the run button, you will die instantly. He's like, and that's kind of annoying, I admit it, people have been complaining, so that's why I'm telling you.
Yeah, what if you pick that first, you're like, you can't do it?
Yeah, you're like, I don't know what I'm doing.
To reset the game
or die repeatedly and waste 10 minutes of your gameplay.
Just die for a half hour.
So, I believe we both picked Chris first.
Yeah.
So we both picked Chris first. It's a rooftop area in China, as we said. And you have a partner. I don't know who the partner was. Some new guy, I guess. You know, I don't remember him.
No, I just had like a bunch of generic dudes.
I had like a partner who was
like
talking to me, and then there were two generic dudes.
I didn't put the headset on.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why you didn't know that.
Yeah,
your partner talks to you constantly, and there were two other generic dudes.
Huh.
So you go off, and immediately you get like split up from him.
Okay. Yep.
And you're fighting these dudes, like Asian dudes with masks on. You're like, okay, maybe it's like the Chinese mafia or something, you don't know. You start shooting them, immediately they turn into Las Plagas monsters, giant fucking arms waving and shit at you. Some of them turn into like butterfly creatures flying at you. It was crazy, like over the top action, intense right at the beginning. You're like, whoa, and ramped it up to 10.
Yeah, it was wild.
And I don't know about you, but I was constantly running out of ammo. Like I was like, it was very scarce.
I had to go with the knife.
Oh, did you?
Start knifing people, and then the ammo comes out, and you just use a little bit as you can. And,
yeah,
a lot less ammo.
It seems like the way that you utilize certain items has changed a little bit. Like you have to, like, what do they call it? Not ready, but like you have to store your item in a certain area to use it. Like I had green herbs, you could just use them. You had to put them into your special inventory so you could use them during combat.
Okay.
You couldn't use them right away.
Huh.
You could combine green herbs in your inventory, but you couldn't just use them out of your inventory. You had to put them into like an area so you could use them during the fight. And you could use them by just pressing a shoulder button. It would quick heal.
Yeah. I did that by accident. I don't know what's going on.
And, you know, you could switch between weapons. For me, it was a little bit cumbersome, but I get the feeling I didn't learn the full menu system. I was trying to learn on the fly.
Yeah, at first I was just trying to, how do I play Resident Evil? How do I play Resident Evil 5 again? Okay, I kind of got some of it back.
Right.
But yeah, it was reminiscent of that. But yeah, like you said, times 100 and on crack,
Because we're trying to rush to figure it out because we only have 30 minutes to play.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying the gameplay in general. Because you're throwing a ton of dudes at you.
Oh, right.
And running up the, coming at you. And,
yeah, so you're on the rooftops. You immediately get separated from your partner. You're fighting all these guys off. You're climbing up ladders. There's wooden crates you're breaking, getting the power-ups out of the crates, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the stage, there's like a showdown where you reunite with your partner, but then all of a sudden there's like waves and waves of enemies just getting thrown at you.
To wait until the copter comes.
The helicopter comes to save you, right. So I'd say probably that's about maybe a 15 to 17 minute scenario that we play.
I have to say this, I was the first one done.
You were, actually.
In the whole room.
You were. I think I was second after you.
I'm like, okay, I'm done. So then I walked over to you, standing there. The guy's like, oh, yeah, you can play another character. I was like, really? Okay, because, I was like, okay, and I just went over there and...
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we both beat it.
Yep.
And I believe you played Leon.
I played Leon, yeah.
And I played Jake. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Leon, and I'll talk about Jake.
Leon is a throwback, I think, to the older style games. Not 100%, obviously. You don't have to, like, slowly turn, around in a circle.
Right.
But, yeah, so you're in a big, mansion type thing, and he can't really move as quickly. So you're kind of going through. There's a lot of story, and you're looking for items, you're looking for ways to get through. There's like paths that are destroyed, and kind of like the old school stuff, not always just fighting things. Figuring out how to get places in the maze and all that. And I played that for about 10 minutes, and I think they're doing that because people complain. It's not like Resident Evil.
It's too action based. This isn't scary.
So they it's gonna be a lot of variety. Looks like in the different styles of characters.
Right. Yeah, Jake's is, again, completely different than the other two. And Jake's, you end up you're immediately running from a boss. It's a Nemesis-style monster, but it has a haircut. Now, I don't want to spoil anything, but it really looks like Leon's haircut.
This is the thing that was in the trailer, right?
This is the guy who was in the trailer.
Right.
It looks like a giant roided Nemesis with Leon's haircut, and it's really confusing. Like, why would they have that hair on him? You know what I mean?
Like a clone or something?
I don't know. Spoiler alert. If that's a spoiler, kind of looks like it might be Leon at some point. I'm just throwing that out there. Maybe they capture him and turn him into a zombie. I don't know.
That'd be crazy.
But he's chasing Jake and this blonde chick who you don't know who she is.
Oh no, is that the chick from that was Leon, the person's daughter or whatever?
Could be.
I think it might have been. I don't know.
Could be. I don't know. Or maybe she's from Resident Evil 0. I think there was a blonde chick in those too.
I think she's the person's daughter from Resident Evil 4. But,
all right.
Just find people at home.
I'm sure they already know. So anyway, you're running, and you're like, why am I running? And immediately the boss monster's behind you, and I guess this is the point where he said you have to run or you're going to die instantly. So it's like, oh shit, so I'm running. You have to do a couple jumps. He makes a sexist remark.
Really?
Yeah, he jumps and he goes, oh, he's with women, and he has to save her from the boss. I was like, what the fuck, man? That's fucked up. Why would you say that? So then all of a sudden the boss can't follow you anymore, and you're like in this little area breaking boxes or whatever, and then you drop down to this area which is like a warehouse room, like a square room, giant square room with barrels all around it. The boss shows up again. So you're like, all right, it's a boss showdown. He says, beat the boss. That's the goal.
Wow.
So I'm running. I was luring him into the corners of the room. The boss has a giant robot arm that he can use to break through columns in the room. He can grab you and try to probe you with this giant metallic probe, which is pretty gross.
What a strange demo. I mean,
it's weird. Like there's so much good gameplay in there. It's a variety of gameplay. But I blew up almost every barrel in the room. He still didn't die. You know what it is with these bosses? Like, remember Resident Evil 5? You didn't know what to do to kill the boss. Like, if you didn't know, you could waste all your fucking ammo.
Yeah, you keep shooting him. Oh, no,
yeah, and you can't kill him. So there obviously there's a gimmick there to figure out how to beat him, and I didn't know what it was, and the time ran out before I could beat him. So it was fun, but I didn't know what I was doing, and then the time ran out. So
those are 3 really good demos. I wonder if they're probably gonna put them all out.
I would assume
maybe one every month or something.
Yeah, like leading up to it, you know.
That's gonna be a lot of fun for people.
A pre-order demo, and then maybe, I don't know, you know.
That's gonna be a lot of fun for everybody.
They were good, and I was happy to get in and play them. That was a lot of fun that we did that.
Game's awesome.
It is awesome. At least up to this point, I think the variety of gameplay, super fast-paced. The one complaint I do have, the camera sometimes gets too tight. Like it's too close to your character.
Yeah, but you know what? I think they do that on purpose, so you get that like.
But it annoys me. Like when I was with Chris, sometimes I was breaking a box. I would have known there was a zombie there if the camera would go back 1 foot. I would know there's a zombie next to me.
That's the thing. I don't think he wants you to know.
That's
what they're going.
That's cheap.
That's what they're going for.
That's cheap. But anyway, so we did 1 or 2 other things. I want to look them up actually because we have them uploaded here because I don't want to miss them. I know we did a couple things after Resident Evil. I believe that I wanted to do the XCOM Enemy Unknown presentation, and you wanted to play
Sonic All-Star Racing. Sonic All-Star Racing. I'm a big fan of the first game.
Right.
I will admit to it. I really like it's my favorite kart racing game. I really like those games like Mario Kart and all that stuff. So they had it there, and there wasn't much of a line, so jumped on it. And it's pretty similar to what the original one was. And I recommend people try that game out. It actually got really good reviews if you look it up. But I don't think people really got into it. You know, like Sonic Racing.
Yeah, they say, oh, it's not Mario Kart, you know.
Right. It's actually better. It's better than the newest Mario Karts.
I believe it.
In my opinion. It's got some funny characters. You got the dwarf guy from Golden Axe.
Yeah.
I'm also a big Sega fan, so maybe that's probably why I like it as well. But
right.
It's fun, and I'll probably pick it up and mess around with it. You know.
All right.
So not much to say about it.
So at the same time, I went to the XCOM Enemy Unknown presentation, where basically this is a turn-based RTS, real-time strategy game. And it's about the Earth getting invaded by these aliens, the classic aliens from XCOM. And it's brought in a more modern setting. And what they showed us was a mission near the end of the game, where it's like it's a showdown where the humans have finally learned the aliens' technology and adapted their own versions of soldiers using their abilities. So it shows all these tough aliens coming out and like obliterating a normal squad. And all of a sudden, a super squad of humans comes to the rescue, led by who else but the creator of the company and the creator of the Civilization game that led into XCOM and all that. Sid Meier is in the game. Now, they said it was just an E3 joke. It's not really going to be in the lane. That's what they're saying. He comes out as like a super powerful psionic soldier. And he has like a sniper dude and an elite combat unit that's invisible. And they go out there and they use their abilities, turn-based abilities to fuck up the aliens, and that was like pretty much the end of it. It was only like a 10-minute presentation.
Right.
Looks like a really decent real-time strategy game to me. Will it catch on? And now we have the dawn of StarCraft 2. We have all these other real-time strategy games. You have to remember that back there in the day, XCOM came out during a time when it was like there weren't that many great ones. And now you have so much competition, and Blizzard is just dominating so much with these kind of games. Can XCOM break back into this market?
Yeah,
I think it remains to be seen. It's going to be a challenge. So that's what I saw at the XCOM press conference. I think what we'll do now is we'll split the video, because we're probably at least past 20 minutes at this point.
Yeah.
We'll come back, we'll talk more about what we did today, and then our final impressions of E3, and we'll wrap it up for the conference here in the bag,
Yeah, right.
So we'll be right back with part 2. Stay tuned.
Okay.
Ow, ow, ow. Damn it.